What is going on, my YouTube community? My name is Nicholas Kemp, and I am your favorite Detroit entrepreneur, Nick the Entrepreneur. Thank you so much for tuning into my channel. And in this video, I want to break this down into 4 unique parts talking about the ERC. So number 1 is the history behind the ERC. Number 2 is, why is this a good opportunity? Number 3, is it a scam? And number 4, you already know how to actually qualify for the ERC. I'm going to give all the sauce in the game that I know about this opportunity. But without further ado, let's get into this video.
Class is in session, only right that you stay in your seat. Opposition straight.
My name is Nick the Entrepreneur. I've been an entrepreneur for the last 4 or 5 years.
Old.
Damn.
I'm sorry.
I've started 2 businesses, and man, have I learned a lot when it comes to business. And I want to help as many people get into business as possible, because the ultimate goal is to truly live a life you enjoy. I've been able to compile some of the background about the ERC, which, if you do not know, is the Employee Retention Credit. And I'm going to put this on the screen as far as what I have, and I'm just going to read it off so you have an idea and you're able to see what is the ERC and how did it come about. The Employee Retention Credit is a tax credit implemented by the United States government to support businesses during the COVID-19 pandemic and encourage them to retain their employees. The credit was initially introduced as a part of the Coronavirus Relief and Economic Security CARES Act, which was signed into law on March 27, 2020. The primary objective of the ERC was to provide financial assistance to businesses that were adversely affected by the pandemic and help them retain their workforce, even if their operations were partially or fully suspended due to the government orders or experienced significant declines in revenue. The CARES Act initially provided the ERC as a refundable tax credit equal to 50% of qualified wages, including certain health benefits paid to eligible employees, up to a maximum of $10,000 per employee. This meant that the businesses could receive a credit of up to $5,000 per eligible employee. Later, the Consolidated Appropriations Act in 2021, signed into law on December 27, 2020, extended and expanded the ERC. The changes made the credit more generous and available to a large number of businesses. The expansion included increasing the credit rate to 70% of qualified wages, up to $10,000 per employee per quarter, and expanding the eligibility criteria, allowing businesses that receive Paycheck Protection Program, also known as the PPP loans, to also claim the ERC. The American Rescue Plan Act, signed into law on March 11, 2021, further extended and enhanced the ERC. It extended the availability of the credit through the end of 2021 and made several favorable changes, such as increasing the credit rate to 70% of qualified wages, up to $10,000 per employee per quarter, and expanding the eligibility criteria for severely financially distressed employers. The ERC, also known as the Employee Retention Credit, has provided financial relief to many businesses, helping them retain employees during the challenging economic conditions by the pandemic. However, it's essential to note that the specific eligibility requirements, wage limitations, and other rules apply, so businesses should consult with a tax professional or refer to the official IRS guidance to determine their eligibility and how to claim the credit accurately. So as you can see, this credit has been around since PPP, and a lot of people are just catching wind as to how this credit is super powerful and can be taken advantage of. So now that you have a little bit of background about what the employee retention credit actually is, you're probably wondering, why is this even a great opportunity to take advantage of? Number one, you're providing a service to entrepreneurs and business owners that have adversely been affected by COVID. I knew how powerful it was to take advantage of PPP when it first came out. And the last thing I want to do is let businesses suffer because of the lack of information. So, number two, there is a good chance for you to build some actual passive income. Guys, in my opportunity, I can either build the team and show them the way, and they can obviously spread the opportunity, make some money for themselves, right? And then the other side of that is I could do it alone. So you do not need a team for this. It's awesome to build with people who are like minded in that fashion, and you guys can grow together. And number three, this will be a great opportunity for you to actually grow your business. So look at it as an investment in your actual business, allowing you to be able to grow, take on more responsibility, and ultimately scale your business. With all great opportunities comes the question that we all ask ourselves when something sounds too good to be true. $26,000 from the IRS sounds too good to be true, and you don't have to actually pay it back. Is this a scam? Everything in life has risk. And I talk about this with some of my colleagues all the time, right? We hop into cars, right? Built by other people, and you don't know what's going to happen. And if you're like me, obviously being from the Motor City, like I've worked in plants, right? And no disrespect to any of the big three, but there are plenty of people who work in plants. You like, I don't know if that dude should even be making my car, right? But you trust that process, no problem, because a company who has billions and millions of dollars is telling you to do so. So you feel comfortable with that notion, even though you don't even know the quality of the people behind the actual machine, especially when there's thousands of parts, anything can go wrong. Smaller risk, smaller reward, bigger risk, bigger reward. So at the end of the day, you have to vet people who fit the bill. So whether it's me or somebody else, eventually what it boils down to is that you're going to actually have to try and apply the information for what it stands. Whether you become a part of my team or whether you take advantage of the opportunity, overall, I just want to help. And the biggest risk is actually not taking any risk. Is this a scam? Absolutely not. There are plenty of companies doing this. The only question you need to ask yourself is which company or which opportunity or which entrepreneur is the best for me. All right, so here is the last and final portion of the video. All the things, I'm laying it out on the table. How do you actually apply for this opportunity? What documents you need and all of that good jazz. So to give you a little bit of background, I am affiliated with a company called Watkins Tax, which is based out of Oklahoma. You can look them up. They have an A+ rating on the Better Business Bureau. So how this process typically works is that you reach out to me. You can set a consultation in order to see if you even qualify. In order to qualify, guys, you must have a minimum of 5 to a maximum of 500 employees. If you have 1099 contractors, you do not qualify. You have to have employees during the quarters of 2020 and 2021. And that has to be documented, and it has to be paperwork on that matter. So specifically, from one of my clients themselves, they actually screenshot it because they went through the process and actually got approved and things of that nature. So they're just waiting on their check, pretty much per se. But what you need to actually qualify for the ERC, and this is documents from 2020 and 2021. So you need and I'm going to put this on the screen as well. So you need a quarterly payroll summary. And this is detailed reports by employee names separated out showing federal withholdings, Social Security, and Medicare. So that's proof that you actually had to have employees. So a payroll summary, which I'm sure can be provided for if you have a payroll provider like ADP or something of that matter. I'm pretty sure that information is there. You need a 941, which that is an amendment tax form, which you can Google and find online. I'm sure that's on the IRS's website. You need PPP applications and forgiveness letter. Again, as I stated before in the beginning, that they opened it up to people who applied for PPP. And like I said, this is a grant. You do not have to pay it back. This is simply the IRS saying, hey, we thank you for keeping your employees during that time. We know you suffered. Here is a bonus. So if you have that paperwork and you took advantage of PPP, you could bring that up as well. The other thing that you need is a profit loss statements for 2019, 2020, and 2021, which basically shows a decline in revenue or some sort of decline in your business. And a profit loss statement obviously shows the numbers being from here at one point in 2019 all the way down here to 2021, and even if they fluctuated a bit. You need company tax returns for 2020 and 2021 and any K1s. And then you need a written statement listing owners and any family members on payroll. I mean, I'm seeing people even in my own group. People are getting hundreds of thousands of dollars just for having their business in line and their ducks in a row. So I want to thank you guys so much for listening to this video. I hope this was very informative. I hope you got a lot of value out of this. You have to vet these people. You have to try and actually see what works. I'm an entrepreneur just like anybody else, so I understand being a little bit nervous, a little bit scared. But at the same time, when people looked at PPP, if you watched the news, you would have been scared to apply. I was scared to apply, but I actually did, and I ended up getting it. And a closed mouth doesn't get fed. So if you got any questions, want to join the team, all of that good stuff, the links will be listed below in the description. And thank you guys for tuning in to Nick the Entrepreneur. I am your favorite Detroit entrepreneur, and I'm out.
Harder than ever, bars clever, I'll probably flow forever. Battle whoever, snake rattling, cattle spread pressure. Catalyst for hazardous happenings in this rapping shit. Talk about the smoke between